Next question.
A lot of fighters, a lot of athletes, when they get to that top level, it can be a bit of a bittersweet because they've spent their whole life trying to achieve that particular goal. And I know for a lot of fighters afterwards, as I said, it can be a bit bittersweet. I'm curious to know, how was your process when you did win the belt? Did it make you hungrier? Was there some weird feelings there? How was that process?
Yeah, so that's a thing, right? Like everyone always wants to chase, they want to get to the top of that mountain. And, it's sort of easier to be motivated to get on the top of the mountain, but, a lot of people try and stay motivated to be on the top of that mountain. With me, I've always tried to, I love this sport, I'm very passionate about it, very committed. So I've always had that drive to be better, as I've said many times, that drive to be better. So as soon as my fights were done, especially when I was obviously very active or even now I'm still right now I'm having a little bit of the break, probably the biggest break I've ever had. But before that, there was no breaks. I would literally get straight back in the gym straight after a fight, and that was where I evolved. That's where I got better. I didn't have time to do that during camp because camp was specific to the opponent in front of me, and I had to get fit and ready for that. But outside of camp was where I try to evolve and get better and get a better understanding of these things. So I've always said, a lot of people want to, rise to the top and, they want to stay on top. I was always there. I want to, when I say raise that bar, right? I always wanted to, these people climbing the mountain to reach me, I wanted them to climb higher and higher. I wanted that mountain to grow. So, it wasn't good enough to just stay on top of them, just being better than my opponents. I wanted to be better. So I wanted to raise the bar. So that mountain kept getting higher and higher for them opponents. That's just how I looked at it. And, again, it's a commitment. It ain't easy. And as you said, it does get tough. And adversity looks, it comes in so many different ways. And that is, sometimes it might feel like it's getting repetitive and things like that, but that's a bit of adversity. You've got to find ways around, be a bit of a problem solver. Don't just be like, I'm done with it. Find ways to make it work or get through it because it's adversity. You've got to stay strong and keep soldiering through. But yeah, like I said, raise that bar every single time. You know what I mean? Obviously, rest is good. You've got to know when to rest, but at the same time, there's always something you can do to be better. Whether you're working on that mental to be stronger, whether it's, if you're injured and there's still you can work on strengths elsewhere, whether it's, strength and conditioning. There's always something you can do to be better. And every time I had injuries, I didn't use that as an excuse to just sit around, which it was a good enough excuse, but there's still so much I could do. So that's why you've seen me and I'd break my hand and then I'd still fight in 4 months. And people are like, how did that happen? It's like, I just made sure I stayed fit. I was doing whatever I could, just making sure I wasn't punching with that hand. And I was able to keep reasonably fit. The footwork never went because I made sure I was still doing all that. Even when I broke my hand, I was still hitting pads. I just wouldn't use that hand. So the footwork was still there. Everything that I needed was still there. So it was, like I said, that's just, again, I'm committed and that's what I'm going to do. You know what I mean? Sometimes people, it's easy to be like, I'm going to have a break and, no one's going to hate you for that. But sometimes you've got to win them little battles in your head as well.